Hello all, welcome to the Happiness at 1111 channel, where we are committed to happiness, connectedness, and being you authentically and unapologetically. I'm realizing I need some water because I'm doing all my videos in one day, so give me a moment to do that. Alright, so got my water. I'm trying to find a routine to where I can, get all this stuff done. And so I'm trying to record videos when I have the silence from the kids like this, and I have the moment. I want to just, do as much as possible. So anyways, I'm doing my third video, which is Let's Talk Tuesday. And I'm realizing I need some water because I've been doing this. Okay, so Let's Talk Tuesday is a follow-up to Monday's Mental Health Motivation Monday. And yes, so remember I have 5 videos at the moment that are going to be uploaded weekly. Mental Health Motivation Monday, Let's Talk Tuesday, Weight Loss and Management Wednesday, Thankful Life Walk Thursday, and Soulful Sunday. So that's 5 videos weekly. Today we are talking about limiting beliefs, and what I'm going to specifically do in about 5 to 10 minutes is go into examples of the limiting beliefs that I mentioned on Monday, which are there is never enough time. It's a very common limiting belief. There's never enough money is what a lot of people believe. And another one that a lot of women believe is that men do not do their fair share of home responsibilities. That sounds a little weird to say, but or that men don't help enough, or whatever you want to say. But that's a very common belief that a lot of women have. And let me take a step back, since if you didn't watch Monday's video, what a limiting belief is, it's a belief that is limiting in some perspective. And no, ma'am, we're not. No, don't say nothing. Just wait. No, ma'am. You be quiet and wait. Okay, you did good for 2. You can do good for a couple more videos. Thank you, baby. So it's limiting when it comes to the belief itself is limiting, but also it's limiting your life in some way. And so the example that I'm going to start with when it comes to there's never enough time, well, as a child, you have to wait. If you're not a good girl, you don't get treat. Remember that. So you be patient and you wait. Okay? You won't get no treat if you do not, if you keep interrupting, if you interrupt the video, okay? So you wait until mommy's done. So, go sit down, sweetie. Go sit down. Good job. So, limiting beliefs. Talking about there's never enough time. Why did I believe that? Why am I still trying to heal this belief about never having enough time? Well, it's because in my childhood, I was surrounded by a lot of people, including my single parent mother, who felt like there was never enough time in the day, right? Obviously, there's a lot you can assume about a single parent. It was me and my 2 brothers, and yes, my dad was in my life during certain phases, but for the most part, my mom was doing a lot of the raising of us on her own, and also didn't have help from family and friends. So some people grow up, maybe as a single parent, but they might have friends and family to help. My mom didn't have any of that, I'm trying to think, on a consistent basis, no. And so what that means is I saw her doing a lot on her own and feeling overwhelmed with the 24 hours in a day. What else did I see as a child who was very perceptive? I saw a lot of teachers and a lot of adults in general just feeling overwhelmed with the time. And then what we also have is this addiction to busyness. So I don't need to get into that too much because we're just talking about limiting beliefs. But when you think about cultural norms and expectations and things, that just adds an added layer of challenge, because you have your childhood experience and then you have these cultural norms where as an adult, even if you want to say, okay, I don't want to be busy all the time, I want to have a more balanced life, or I want to have time for this and these other things that I enjoy, sometimes it's even more difficult because you live in a culture that prides itself on busyness, right? So that's how, as a child, I was taught about busyness through my mom and through other adults, teachers and other adults. Then how it manifested as me being someone who, yes, got a lot done. So yeah, I got a lot done in school, and I'm the kind of person who I can put in the extra hours at work, and I can be a workaholic, and actually I can do it with enjoyment, but I do it with a lot of stress as well. And so I've found it interesting that no matter how much I work, whether I'm working 60 plus hours, 40 hours, 20 or 10 or 0, I find it interesting that if I'm not really mentally aware of what's going on, then I'm living out my past, which is that there's never enough time. So there's weeks where I'm self-sabotaging because I believe that, right? There's weeks where I don't have to work. But obviously I do have a family, y'all know that. So I have my husband, I have my kids. But what I do is, because of this belief of there's never enough time, I self-sabotage and I put too much into my days. and then I feel overwhelmed, and it's a choice that I'm making, guys, okay? So that's something we'll save for another video. How does it look like when you're self-sabotaging and reliving out these beliefs? So there's never enough time. What's another common one? There's never enough money. I talked about the fact that that belief is why 70 to 80% of lottery winners who win millions and billions of dollars still go broke within 5 years specifically, is what the research shows. Why is that? That is because they believe there's never enough money. So the reason why I believe that is because my single parent mom, who also was raised in poverty, raised us right below the poverty line as well. She was in poverty, or for most of the time, or I believe we might have been right above the line, because I remember my mom, for a family of 4, her plus the 3 kids, it was like for most of our childhood, I think, yeah, well, for the first half, we didn't receive assistance, and then when she moved and tried to better her life, she made just above the limit. I'm talking about probably a few $100 extra a month above the limit, and then that meant that she didn't qualify for different resources, and therefore had to work a lot, and we just didn't have much, right? So specifically though, on that, within that time frame of 20s, about 18 years, of half of it being with resources, half of it being without, there were a lot of different challenges of poverty when it comes to being homeless on more than one occasion. So living specifically in a homeless shelter. There were times when there wasn't enough food, although I don't have any memories of never being hungry. There just wasn't quality food. There wasn't like a lot of healthy foods in the home. Sometimes you just got to live off of noodles and hot dogs, right, or whatever it is. Things of that nature. So because of my childhood experience of poverty, of being homeless, of not having a home with, nice things. So sometimes one specific experience I have that is very vivid for some reason is when, I don't know if I was in middle school or what grade I was in, but there was some neighbors who threw away, in the apartment complex, who threw away some, what they considered raggedy furniture, and it was raggedy, honestly. But we didn't have any furniture, so to us that was like, oh, free stuff. And so anyways, going through a phase where we had furniture from the side of the road that was not in good condition. I understand, reusing things or recycling. I love Goodwill and different things like that, but this was like not a nice couch. It was broken. And to us, it was the best thing ever because we didn't have anything, We would rather sit on a couch than sit on the floor, right? So that was my childhood. And because of that poverty experience, which is often a cycle, y'all know about this, the cycle of generational curses and just different things we're taught, we got to break through it. So what's interesting is despite my background with all this, with my education, with my experience, I have not struggled with poverty. Well, per se, I've just struggled with creating an abundant life. Although I'm on the other hump of that, thank goodness, and I will talk about that in other videos as far as manifestations of different things that I've been blessed with, but I have been shockingly surprised at some of my challenges with feeling financially stable and financially free previous to a lot of my healing, because I didn't realize that my experience with poverty had such a hold on my mind. I'm thinking if I study psychology, if I've learned so much, I'm positive, I believe in law of attraction manifesting, you wouldn't think that I would have gone through some of the experiences that I went through when it comes to money. But the mind is a tricky thing, and you want to be the one tricking your mind to manifesting things that you desire, and not your mind tricking you into living in your past, okay? So that's me. That's how a childhood experience of poverty and homelessness led to challenges with stability, I'll just say. I got to be respectful of my husband and making sure I don't share information that's sensitive. But yes, we should not have had to have struggled financially like we have in the past, but it's because, again, both of us came from poverty, and even with an intellectual mind and resources and all these different things, it can be hard to break out of that cycle into living an abundant life, and to know that you're deserving of that life, okay? So lastly, women, the whole thing about women and men. So it connects back to my first example. Seeing my mom as a single parent taught me that women have to do it all by themselves. You can't depend on a man to provide financially. He's not going to be there for you emotionally. All these negative things that I didn't realize I subconsciously believed about men. It wasn't conscious, because consciously I respect every human being. I love people, and I just want everybody to be happy, right? So I didn't realize I had this anger towards men and resentment and such low expectations of them until divorce, right? So this is my second marriage, and I learned a lot in my first marriage about the challenges that I brought to the table, one of which was thinking that a woman had to do it all. Everything was on her shoulders when it comes to finances and caring for your kids and caring for your home, when in reality that was just a limiting belief that I picked up from my childhood and took over to my adulthood, unfortunately, and one that I'm so happy to have healed, thank goodness. And it's just such a common one, why I bring it up, because there's so many women who have great husbands and partners, and a lot of the time us women, we want to point the finger outwards a lot. Well, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, but a lot of you are with men who are more than happy to. I don't know about more than happy, but that might be a stretch. You're with men that are very capable of doing their fair share, and when it comes to caring for the home and caring for the kids, and they love you enough to do that, but there is a communication barrier, there's an expectation barrier, there's an energetic barrier. It's hard for people to overcome your limiting expectations and beliefs, and that's why it is empowering to know what your limiting beliefs are, so you can actually free up people to present themselves in the way that they really want to. That's a bit deep. I don't know if I just got confusing right there, but what I'm trying to say is people often live up to your expectations, so if you expect low of them, they can present themselves that way, even if they have the ability to do a lot more. So what I'm trying to say is it's empowering to know that you don't have to feel like you're the victim of people always doing stuff to you. You can feel that because of your mind and your beliefs and your work on the self, you can live a life that no matter who you're around, you're surrounded by the life that you want, and people are going to present themselves and rise to your expectations. And I got to stop there, because when we use the word expectations, it gets really philosophical, because one of the quotes that I heard recently from a good friend is that expectations are premeditated resentments. So I got to be careful with word choice, because I do get that. But what I'm trying to say is people are here to help and to help you create a great life, but only if you believe that. And a lot of people just don't trust people. That's another limiting belief. We don't trust people. We were traumatized and had hard things happen from our mom and our dad and our loved ones and our family and friends as a kid. So we grow up as adults not trusting people, and then we attract these experiences that validate, oh, I can't trust nobody. I can't rely on nobody else. But that's not the case. Trust me and believe. I've healed so much that I know those are two different worlds, and it's a choice eventually. It doesn't feel like a choice along the way, but it is a choice eventually. So it's been 12 minutes. It is time for me to wrap this up. Let's Talk Tuesday, guys. Comment below. What are some limiting beliefs that you have? What are some that you're trying to heal? What are your thoughts about what I'm talking about? What else do you want to hear on this channel? Tell me more about yourself. I really want to know more about you all. And yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you all. And check out the other videos. You know we have Mental Motivation Monday. You know what we got. So check it out. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you next time. Deuces.